Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, I'm going to be going over 5 signs you're an ENTP. Now, I've got some points written down here that I'm going to go over. And the first one is about ideas and how they disappear as quickly as they come. Now, you'll find with ENTPs that we have obsessions when it comes to ideas, and our follow through is lacking. And from the outside it may seem that our ideas are very fickle, and I think the issue is that we become so obsessed and channel all of our energies in this burst of inspiration that once we've got our fix, so to speak, we get bored, right? And we're not so much focused on what the long term might be. We're just enjoying the process, the dopamine hit of a new idea or a new project that we're working on. And unfortunately, once we become entertained, or once we've figured a few things out, maybe built something, I don't know, let's say you're doing programming, maybe you've designed a website and you're in the process of learning, you may not continue that once it fizzles out. Or this could translate to anything, right? So ideas come as quickly as they go. And this can often be because something else has popped into the picture, right? And you see this perhaps manifest itself in people with ADD, which often, ENTPs come across like that. So that is definitely a sign. If you have lots of different ideas and you pursue things in terms of like a burst of inspiration, there's a pretty good chance that you may have any as a dominant function. Now the second one is an interesting one, and I think that a lot of ENTPs will find resemblance with this, and this is the ability to have a friendship with almost anyone, almost being able to charm anyone, or being able to know the words that you can build a relationship with someone. Now, this may become more difficult as you get older and you develop a kind of moral framework of who you want to be friends with. But when I was younger and more impressionable, or more of a people pleaser, you could say, ENTPs can be people pleasers because of that FE function. You kind of want to be friends with everyone. You can form bonds with the nerd, you could form bonds with the dickhead, you could form bonds with anyone, literally. I've had a multitude of friendships in my life from all different walks of life. This is the chameleon function of an ENTP, our ability to adapt to circumstance. And like I said, this changes, I suppose, as you get older and you define your boundaries more, as a man, as an ENTP, as a human being, right? But that ability to charm off the get-go is still always there, and can be a curse, because often people may become more attached to you than you actually are to them. And this is something that ENTPs have to work on. We could just be enjoying the process of figuring out someone's mind, not getting offended if something that we come across we don't particularly like, but we're just in the process of figuring this person out. We can compromise quite easily in a relationship because it doesn't really bother us or affect us, and our boundaries at particular points in our life can be quite low. We can find ourselves joining in things that we look back 10 years later and was like, why did I ever do that, right? So this is something that as an ENTP you can develop, but it's generally a sign, the curse of forming friendships with people that particularly you may not think are favorable or wise as you get older. Now the third one that I've got down here is you're never bored. Now this is true, because NE is an explorative function by definition. You're always exploring new ideas, possibilities, visions that you may have of some particular possible future. So you're always entertained by your mind. So if you ever find yourself lacking with things to do in the present moment, you can just retreat into the comfort of your own head and entertain yourself and discuss with the multitude of personalities that you have. I'm only kidding. But of course, you will have discussions and you can debate your points of view in order to find out, oh, wait, what's right here? You can deliberate on certain ideas just for the process of enjoyment almost. So in some sense, talking to yourself in your head is a form of enjoyment for an ENTP. I'm sure you can relate if you are one. So the fourth one I've got written down here is that you are an extroverted hermit. Now, this is an interesting one because ENTPs are extroverted. Let's not twist our words here. ENTPs are extroverted. Our mannerisms, how we interact, how we engage in a social setting, our ability to communicate, everything screams extroversion. And how we get our energy as well, for the most part, is through socializing. We love parties, we love social gatherings, we love engaging with different people and communicating with all different walks of life and sharing and expressing ideas. We're very vocal about that. Now, where the hermit side comes in is that we love to retreat and explore information and experience that we've acquired through SI or just in general. We love to just sit at home and just explore whatever we want to explore or whatever we're passionate about. And this can go on for a week, 2 weeks, a month, where we may just forego and get sick and tired of social outings, develop some hypothesis that we're wasting our time doing stupid things that have no greater purpose for our lives, and then in that process return to some project that we've been working on. I think that this will mark an ENTP quite well. And why the hermit side comes out, where sometimes we get annoyed of people. We can get annoyed of just going out and not being intellectually entertained as we would like. This is a fact for a lot of ENTPs, and if you are one, I'm sure you can relate. So the last one I've got here is hyper self-awareness. Now, there may be a contradictory here because it's the dichotomy or the contrast between action and thought. ENTPs are hyper self-aware in their thinking. Whether that translates to their action, depending on the level of discipline of the ENTP, is the question. Because I think that an ENTP is very much so aware of their own faults, and whether they will change or not is depending on how much they give a fuck, basically. So you could be hyper self-aware of your faults, of things you need to work on. You could be, you could have the knowledge that what you're doing is wrong. You shouldn't be in this situation. But because you simply don't give a fuck a lot of the time and you're enjoying yourself, whatever you're doing, despite, bringing harm to yourself potentially, you'll continue down that path until SI kicks in, or actually not SI in this function, TI parent takes over and educates you basically and says, look, follow, what is right, just fucking do it, And this is where ENTJs are perhaps better than ENTPs, is putting that self-awareness into action. But yeah, ENTPs are very self-aware, but whether we act on it or not is depending on that degree of discipline. So those are some 5 signs that you're an ENTP. So if you like the video, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and check out our other videos. We have what's it like being an INTJ, and one I've done previously on what's it like being an ENTP. And also check out our podcast where we discuss a variety of different topics, which, if you're an intuitive person, you might find interesting. So take care and peace out. Welcome to the sage verse, with real works and true words. Patterns of recognition leave your brain converged. Time is irrelevant when the thoughts of impediment corrupt your soul with mind-numbing nemesis. The sage's way is where the truth hits the page. Turn your soul into a library in the name of knowledge and discovery. We seek out reality to be gone of human apathy.